Hello everyone, this is Belmont Legion, and I have a fun tool that I'd love to share with you today. It's called MSU. It's an MSU-1 audio replacement tool. Um, and without further ado, let me show you how it works. So, what we're going to do is we're going to start by loading an MSU file. Go down here, click Load MSU-1. You're going to be prompted to load an MSU file, .msu. In this case, I have Mega Man X. Click that. And it's going to show all the tracks that are associated with that game if they're found, and gives you an option to preview. Since they're all generically labeled, it makes it a lot easier to find which one you want to work with. So now, let's load Armored Armadillos by clicking Replace. And now I'm prompted to load a WAV, MP3, FLAC, OGG, or AIFF. Alright, but in this case I'm going with MP3. Alright, so from here we can set the loop points. So right here it looks like, you know, where the song starts over, so that's probably a good point to put the end loop point. Yeah, it sounds like where the song starts over. So from here, you can zoom in, zoom out by pressing Control and scroll on the mouse wheel. It zooms in like where your mouse is looking to make it a little bit easier. Alright, so here is the point where we're going to want to drop the end loop point. For that, over here I have a little legend showing the hotkeys, but in this case, it's the X key for dropping the end loop point. And we'll go back to the beginning of the song and find the waveform that looks pretty much the same. It drops it wherever your mouse cursor is, so drop it right there. And so now that the beginning and end loop is set, let's test to make sure that it actually loops cleanly. Start here. Alright, so we have the loop point set. From here, we're going to want to look at the trim settings. So if there's no lead-in audio or lead-in silence on the file, there's sometimes a pop or missed notes on the playback. So what you're going to want to do is add a little bit of padding. And in this case, I've added an auto pad, auto trim. So what it'll do is it'll detect the first audio in the waveform, and from there determine how much padding to add to meet the pad amount that I have set. All right, so it looks like it added a little bit, and the good thing is like it's imperceptible, the difference that it adds. Stop. So my spacebar, according to the legend here, is a play pause. You can kind of hear from when I hit the spacebar to playing pretty quick. So here we go. So at this point, we're going to want to adjust the audio levels. So go to the audio level section. So I have a lot of presets here, so there's no guesswork. If you want a more authentic sound, you know, closer to the console, you're going to want to pick authentic. Balanced is more of a standard volume level. It can sometimes drown out sound effects, and if that's the case, you're going to want to go with authentic or quieter. Quieter will really crush the audio down, so if you have a loud soundtrack or a game that you want to have more quiet, that would be the way to go. If you want to go crazy, you can go maximum, which is all the way up to the peak of 1 dB. I don't recommend that, but to each their own. Me personally, I like going with authentic. I set that as the default for the app, but it can always be changed anytime you load a file. So from here, we can actually play what it sounds like before and after loading the preset. And you can do it in real time. Hear the effect that it actually has. So the color coding is shown here. So the aqua is what the audio is gonna become, and the green is what it used to be. Let's see here. So we have some manual settings here in case the presets don't quite scratch the itch. But from here, what we can do is export, and it'll ask if you want to export with the loop data and the preset data, with the loop data only, and it'll ignore everything on this preset here, or this audio level studio tab. Or if you only want to affect the levels and not the loop point, I don't recommend that, but it's there if you want it. And that's pretty much all it takes to replace the audio. So let's... And it asks if you want to update the metadata in the MSU file, and if there is a BLM or BML file manifest, it'll update that as well. Let's metadata updated. All right, so now what it does is it'll actually create a backup of the file in the MSU folder called backup, and in there it'll copy the original file and it'll copy the metadata with the original loop points. And let's take a look at that folder. So here's the original track and the backup of the metadata. So it basically just contains the loop start and end point. Oh. I did forget to mention, when you do export, it will trim off the end of the file because that's the expected format for PCM files. So it will play perfectly every time. Let me see. So down here it actually shows an indicator of a track that I've replaced, and there's a backup of it. If I want to replace that backup or restore that backup, I come up to Restore Backups. It'll show a list of files that it finds a backup for, and then we hit Restore Selected. Boom. And that's all there is to it. And the other cool feature I've added is if you want to level the audio of an entire batch of PCM files, you can load it here, and if you've loaded it in the loop editor tab, they'll actually automatically pop up over here, and from here you're going to want to hit batch export, and it'll prompt you if you want to batch export, and it asks if you want to apply the current preset, which is authentic, to all 33 tracks, and it does let you know that it's going to back it up, and it does contain a progress bar, so you're not left in the dark on the progress. Okay, so let's go back to backup folder, and here's all the original songs, and here's the adjusted ones. So when you do restore a backup, it does overwrite anything in the main folder. So backup any additional songs that you want to keep, but to restore the originals, it overwrites the new one. So let's go ahead and restore. We can select all, restore selected, continue. All of them are gone, and the original tracks are in place. And that is pretty much all there is to this app. I tried to take all the guesswork out of it. Uh, the idea is to be able to approach this as a non-technical person who doesn't know much about waveforms and levels and loop points and such. So I would love to hear your feedback on it, and if you liked this video, definitely throw a like on there and subscribe if you like my music, and I'll have some links in the description for the GitHub for this so you can download it and try it yourself, and thanks for checking out my video.